I think this is better. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2025 Springdale State of the City Address. I am Lawrence Hawkins III, your mayor, and thank you for coming out this evening. For those of you who are present, and for those that are watching on streaming services, welcome as well to the greater Springdale area. I want to recognize a few elected officials before we get started here tonight. We have from our City Council, our President, Jeffrey Anderson. We have our Vice President, Dan Jacobs. We have Council Member David Gleaves. We have Council Member LaVon Webster. We have Council Member Megan Marie Sullivan-Wisecup. And we have Council Member Michelle McFarland. We also have from our Princeton School Board, as we are part of the Princeton community, we have President of the School Board, John Simons. We have Vice President of the School Board, Jody Kessler. We have Superintendent Elgin Card with us. And we have a few former elected officials, our former Tax and Finance. We have Kathy McNair present. Former Council Member Carolyn Gantos. Former Council Member Dave Oakham. Back there? Okay. And former Council Member Ed Knox. And last but not least, we have our former Mayor Webster present. And the last one is my favorite former elected official, Dr. Lillian Hawkins, is also present. This evening, I'll be giving you a little introductory overview, and then you'll hear from our department heads, and they'll be giving you some highlights with regard to what to expect in 2025 from their respective departments. We'll conclude the presentation with you having the opportunity to ask questions of our department heads, as well as the elected officials that are present, in an informal setting. We won't do questions during the presentation, but afterwards, they'll be here and you can ask questions of them with regard to anything you're interested in. First off, I appreciate the opportunity to serve the city of Springdale and our approximately 11,000 residents. The goal is to make everybody feel comfortable, safe, and enjoy being in Springdale, whether they live here, work here, or come here for fun and entertainment. Internally, we're also working as a city to make this a great place to work. We've taken steps to stand out from other municipalities. We have an approach that's more in line with what you'd maybe see in corporate America in terms of demonstrating to our employees that they're valued and appreciated. We strive to have an employment culture that is collaborative and rewards initiative and innovation. We do have challenges to address and deal with. We continue to work to grow our revenue, to take care of our expenditures. We constantly strive to keep businesses that are here and attract new businesses using our incentive programs. We also are growing revenue and our tax base by building new places to live within the city of Springdale. We are also changing the way we conduct business as an administration in an effort to try to maximize efficiency. One example of that is our police department shifted to 12-hour shifts, which has saved us hundreds of thousands of dollars with regard to overtime. Tonight's theme, though, is about connection. The vision is to connect with all 11,000 residents and to foster a strong sense of community. We connect through communication, our website, our city Facebook page, our streaming city council meetings. We connect through programming and events here at the rec center, whether it's youth sports, pickleball, our toy goldfish swim, aerobics classes, and this year, Pretzel Fest. We connect with our police and fire departments who help keep us safe, and they also engage our children at Springdale Elementary and Heritage Hill Elementary schools through educational recognition programs. We connect with you through our finance and tax department as we take in tax dollars and expel them with services for all of our residents. We connect with you through our health department that provides health information, shots, vaccines, and acts as a quality of life resource. We connect with you through Public Works, which takes care of plowing our roads, chipping our wood, cutting our grass, and keeps our tree city looking beautiful. We connect with you through our building department, which makes sure that our zoning, planning, homes, and buildings are safe and up to code and appealing, as well as our home repair reimbursement program. We connect with you through our economic development by bringing you new places to shop, work, and play. We connect with you through our administration by running an efficient, effective, and evolutionary organization. Your elected officials are strengthening the connection with you through events like this, as well as the interactive town hall meeting that they conduct in September. The vision for the city of Springdale is clear. It is a vision of a place that makes all people that live, work, shop, eat, and play in Springdale feel welcome. It is a vision of growth. We are 11,000 strong, and in the next 2 to 3 years, the goal is to grow to 13,000. The vision is to provide the best services and opportunities for our residents. We have a lot of exciting things going on in the city of Springdale, and you'll have the opportunity to hear from our department heads now. These individuals that are along this wall are the real stars of this evening, and we have the best directors around, and I feel fortunate to work with this leadership group. And they're great because they do the 3 I's. The 3 I's are initiate, innovate, and impact. And it's those efforts that help move us forward as a city. So with that, our first director up is the head of our Parks and Recreation Department, Charlie Wilson.
I have my peanut gallery over here. All right. Well, thank you all for coming this evening. So here in the Parks and Rec, we actually have 2, I don't know. Here we go. We'll see if it'll load here. We have 2 different aspects of, let me fix this real quick. Okay, we'll see if that'll do it. So for the Parks and Rec Department, we have 2 different aspects. We have the parks side of things, which we have approximately 120 acres. We have a wide range of variety of amenities. We have 6 pocket parks, complete with different playground equipment. We also have tennis courts, and we also have walking paths at 3 of our locations, including our outdoor aquatic facility behind the community center. Which some of you would be amazed that some of the folks that have been residents here for so long don't even know that we have. So please spread the word. We also offer a variety of recreational activities. We are very fortunate here in Springdale to have this very nice community center. It spreads about 72,000 square feet. We have very affordable memberships if you compare to some of the surrounding communities that allow you to gain access to different programs, events, and then a big thing that we have is reservations for different room rentals. A lot of the times during the seasons we have folks come out who don't want to have a holiday party or a birthday party or a bridal shower at their homes and trash their homes. They bring it here and they rent some of our rooms. So they are afforded that opportunity if you have a membership here. And then actually, I want to say one thing real quick. We are going to do an Easter egg hunt around the outside loop. For those, we have probably a little over 100 walkers that walk this outside loop in a given day. So April 1st through April 20th, we're going to have a golden egg hunt every day of the week. So if you are walking that loop and you see that golden egg, bring it up to the front desk and you'll be able to pick out a prize, all right? It's not going to be a Lamborghini or anything, but it'll be nice. Okay, so some of the things, every year when we approach the budget, we try to tackle things that are located on our comprehensive plan, which is feedback from the community on what you guys would like to see improved. So year by year, given if the budget permits, we try to just kind of scratch away at those projects. So some of the notable things that we did this past year, we started making improvements to the fitness center. We redid the floors. We also added pickleball court lines to our main gymnasium because we have anywhere between 20 to 40 pickleballers come a few days a week. So there's desperately a need there. We also are trying to innovate and modernize our facility to kind of some of the facilities that we see around the area and other locations of the country. So we added some of the smart screens you see around the building to kind of cut down on paper so that we're marketing things more digitally. And then with our administration's approval, we're able to go after more grant money where over the past couple years we've got around a little over $150,000 to do some facility improvements, which again, we take any of those tasks that came from the the comprehensive plan. We're trying to itch away at those or scratch away at those. Some of them include the hillside bleachers over there on Field 4. We just got done doing repairs to those. And then we also are going to be making our outdoor restrooms ADA accessible. And then we're going to be doing some improvements to our senior room before the year's end. And then over the past year, if those of you don't know, we had a very nice donor give us about $600,000 to update two of our parks. They were Underwood Park and Cameron, and I'll show you Cameron in the next slide. But again, deriving from the comprehensive plan and the connectivity plan, we were able to add a walking path that connects off to Grandin and cuts through the park. We're also to add picnic shelters and a brand new playground set. The picnic shelters, you are welcome to rent. And if you ever want to have a barbecue or anything like that or a party, feel free to reach out. Here is Cameron Park. We had a brief celebration there and gave out snow cones to the kids that wanted to come on our opening weekend. So before I get to one of my last slides, I want to give a little bit brief backstory. This past summer, the mayor came to me and he said, "Hey, you know, Charlie, I want to do something special. I want to try to create a new event for the community." So he asked me to get with my staff, and so I did, and we had some really excellent ideas as far as a new event for the community. And one of our programmers, I'll give her a shout out, Sherry Owen. She's our senior programmer. Many of you here know her. She said, "Well, hey, didn't we just have one of the world's largest soft pretzel producers move to Springdale, and they're expanding at Costco?" And she's like, "What about Pretzel Fest?" And then, like that light bulb, we got the green light from Brian and the mayor. So we partnered with Deech, who is taking over the Costco building. And we took some feedback of the community bash and what we kind of heard from folks. There was really that kid aspect. There really wasn't that adult aspect. So we wanted to take that feedback and kind of run with it. We're going to have plenty of pretzels. We're also going to have a variety of other foods because you can't just eat pretzels in the hot sun and have an adult beverage. You're in the middle of August. You need some other food of substance. So with the kids zone, we're going to do a little bit different layout. This is all going to be outside on Field 3. So we're not going to be back tucked away behind that hill. We're going to kind of open it up so that everybody is all enclosed in this area. We are going to have, as part of the not having adult feedback, we're going to have a mechanical bowl. We're partnering with SYB. We're going to purchase about 500 Pretzel Fest mugs. So they're going to sell their adult beverage out of. So if you attend their tent, you will get a free mug. We're also going to have a hangman competition, and Jake Sweeney will also be doing some a car display. We're still adding things as time goes on, and I'm sure we'll get a lot more interested parties. We are also going to have a live lineup of DJ CEO with Jake Sweeney, the Sham Rocker, which you see at many of our events. We're also going to have a Jimmy Buffett tribute band. And then to end the night, we're going to have the Naked Karate Girls, which is a fan favorite here in Cincinnati. And then it's the final slide, and I promise you, that is our what we were able to partner with Deech based on their general donation, or their generous donation. We are going to have a drone light show over the event. We're working on the graphics with the party, but that will be at 9:30 p.m. sharp on August 2nd, same day as Pretzel Fest. So, let's see here. Like the mayor said, I will be at the back to filter anybody's questions or comments or concerns. Please feel free to approach me. And with that said, Mayor, am I okay to introduce the next person? Okay. The next person is our Assistant Director of Public Works, Chris Miller.
Good evening. As Charlie said, my name is Chris Miller. I'm the Assistant Public Works Director. We'll give you kind of a background on our department and kind of the ins and outs of what we do on a day-to-day basis and some of the future projects and current projects that we have going on. Give you a couple photos of kind of the general things that we do. A lot of times the items that we do are a little unforeseen, and then a lot of times we do like snow removal under the cover of darkness to provide the residents with excellent snow removal service. That way they can get in and out of their community. A few aspects of our department. We have 139 lane miles within a 5 square mile area. And we provide fleet services to all of our departments, from police and health to building department, including our department also, and on occasion the fire department. We operate the urban forestry program and keep as many trees living, take care of trees as we can within the city. And we are constantly adding to the urban forestry as well as maintaining and trimming to keep a safe urban forestry. Another aspect that we maintain is the stormwater. We have the Mill Creek tributary Beaver Run that runs through Springdale that basically crosses the entire community from west to east. And so any illicit discharges where somebody might pour oil into the stream or catch basins or anything along those lines, we investigate and try to eliminate. A few services that everybody within the city is accustomed to or kind of entitled to. We have between the months of March and September, we operate a brush collection service, and just provided a few numbers from what we collected last year. We collected 124 tons worth of brush from residents within the community. Once the fall leaves start falling between October and December, we go out and we collect. We collected 178 tons worth of material, and all that material is then collected at our compost facility, where we grind the compost, or grind and then place it into the compost, and then based on a request list. We provide that to the community at no charge, up to 10 cubic yards. Last year we had 105 requests, and we provided 197 tons worth of material to residents. So what we bring in, essentially, we are providing back to the community to essentially provide a service and allow all the tree brush and leaves to go back to the community. Trash service, some interesting numbers that we have that we receive from Rumpke every year is we collect 3,900 tons worth of solid waste. And for recycling, we only collected 161 tons, which we would love to see that number increase. So we're currently working with the administration to try and figure out ways to increase that number to cut back our landfill number. Next aspect that we provide within the city is capital improvement projects. Obviously, on the left-hand side there is Northland Boulevard, which we should be seeing start up in towards the end of the month here. And we have about, they're estimating about a year and a half left on that project. On the right was a project that we completed overnight in the nighttime hours and on Route 4 with all that, with the paving there. Ultimately, capital improvement projects are very expensive to the city from budgetary constraints, so we're always looking for grants and programs to allow us to do more with less of the city money. You know, between grants from state and federal to just partnering with communities. For instance, Cannon Road, we partnered with City of Forest Park to help half the cost of that road. That way we can complete the road. There are various projects that we're going to do this year. We've got a lot of maintenance programs that we have scheduled for this year between crack seal and a Cape Seal application, and then also currently going on over in Heritage Hill, we have our first phase of sidewalk grinding to eliminate trip hazards. We will continue that next year with the second phase, and with that, that'll be, we'll have Heritage Hill completely hazard free, and then at that point, it'll just be kind of maintenance for our crews to go out and eliminate any hazards that may show up. A few projects that are on the future horizon here are back in the what we call kind of the old Avon area, Springdale Industrial Park off of Crescentville. We have a project to go. It's kind of a 2-year project where it'll be concrete work, curbs first, and then we will pave. And then on top of it, we have a railroad crossing that was abandoned by the Avon development that we're going, received grant funding to remove that crossing. Kemper Road and Northland Boulevard, this will be something that you'll see some public involvement in the very near future. We're looking at a alignment and change of the intersection to allow that intersection to flow much nicer and allow traffic not to queue so long on the Kemper Road sections. And then East Kemper Road, this will be from essentially Chesterdale Road down by like Burger King and the old Costco. We're going to kind of start our first phase of a lane reduction so that we can get a multimodal path in, so that Kemper Road can have essentially a bike path, 11-foot wide bike path that will go and stretch the whole length for the connectivity plan. And that concludes mine. In the end, I'll be in the back, and if you have any questions, feel free to stop in. Next up is Fire Chief Stanley.
Good evening. As he stated, I'm Anthony Stanley. I'm your fire chief. I'm very proud to serve in this capacity. I've been with the department since 1999. I know what you're thinking. I don't look that old, but my knees will tell you differently. So I've been with the city for a very long time. One of the more tenured, members of the city, one of the more tenured workers, and I absolutely love working for Springdale. The support that we have consistently had, during my tenure here from, Mayor Webster, our elected officials, city administration, now Mayor Hawkins. It's just unbelievable. We would not be able to do all the things that we're able to do without that support and most importantly, the support of the community. So thank you all for coming out. I want to thank everyone that's watching tonight as well. So the City of Springdale Fire Department is committed to providing fast and efficient service in the pursuit of life safety, property conservation, and community risk reduction with professional personnel that possess compassion, courage, and integrity. So that is the vision that I have for the fire department. So what I'll do tonight is I'll describe the structure of the fire department. I'll go over some of the things that we commonly do, as well as some of the programs that we offer. So the way our department is structured, you have the fire chief. Underneath the fire chief, you have assistant chief. So our assistant chief does great work for us. He's in charge of the operations of the fire department. He's really transformed our operation. He is very involved regionally with training and policy creation that a lot of other departments in not only Hamilton County, but our neighboring counties have adopted. So essentially what that means for you and what it means for our firefighters is we're operating more closely as we are one fire department. So if your house unfortunately catches on fire, it's not only going to be Springdale firefighters there putting it out. We're going to get help from neighboring communities. So now when we're operating in that dangerous environment, we're all operating off the same sheet of music. So there's a lot of work that goes into that, but our operations are the best that they've been since I've been there, the safest, the most efficient, and most effective for the community. In addition to that, we have a fire marshal. So her primary job is conducting fire inspections and helping with the new construction. She's also overseeing our fire prevention program and public education programs. So she's pretty new, but she's doing a really good job. Our administrative assistant, she's like my right-hand lady. She does a really good job in the fire department. She processes our payroll and our invoices, handles a bunch of our uniform items, and other duties as assigned, which are a lot. So she does a really good job. As far as the firefighters that are there every day, we have 3 shifts. So our full-time personnel, they work one day, 24 hours, 8 in the morning to 8 the next morning, and then are off for 2 days. So we have Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, led by a captain on each shift. For like the last 4 or 5 years, we also had a lieutenant on each shift. We were fortunate enough to get a second lieutenant for each shift, so now we have a total of 6 lieutenants and 3 captains. So it does several things. It gives us more supervisors on more runs. It makes it safer. It makes our operations more efficient, and it also gives us a bigger pool to professionally develop. As I stated earlier, I'm getting pretty old, so I'm not going to be here forever. Neither will our assistant chief. So we're really trying to cultivate that group of the younger leaders that we have in the fire department, so it's a seamless transition when we leave. So that's a huge goal that we have. So the fire chief, assistant fire chief, the fire marshal, and administrative assistant, we all work 40 hours Monday through Friday. I'm always available. If anyone ever needs me, call me, stop by the firehouse. If you ever have any questions or any concerns, I will take every call. I would love to talk to you. Everyone else works at 24/48 with the exception of our part-timers. We do have a part-time staff, which we feel very fortunate. There for a while, it was getting very difficult to staff our part-time positions, and a lot of departments were experiencing that. But through thinking out the box a little bit, we've added some interns. We've gone to some of the vocational schools and participated like in career days and stuff like that. And through some of those efforts, we're able to attract more part-time staff. So our part-time staff is pretty good right now. This just shows you the breakdown of our calls the last 3 years. You can see in 2024, we had a pretty significant jump in our EMS calls and our total calls. So last year we made 4,696 calls. So that's a lot of calls out of one firehouse. So if you live pretty close to the firehouse, you're fully aware of that when you're hearing the sirens go. So we're pretty busy, out of the one firehouse. So in addition to just making the calls, the men and women that work there, they're not just sitting around just, waiting for calls. So typically they come in the morning, they check their equipment, put everything on their assigned seat because they rotate around, from shift to shift. Once they do that, they have a briefing and see what needs to be done for the day. After that, they're getting their vehicles checked and the equipment that's on the vehicles just to make sure everything is operational. So we pretty much check everything every day at the start of the shift. Or anytime something happens. So if we go on an EMS run, we come back, anything that we use, we restock it and just double check to make sure everything is there and operational and ready to go for the next run. In addition to that, we do a lot of in-house training, which saves us money from not having to send our folks out, to get continuing education. So we're able to get a lot of training. We repair a lot of stuff ourselves. We service our fire hydrants twice a year. So that'll be coming up in April, and then we also do it in September. So every public hydrant, every private hydrant, we service those, we flush them. The public ones, we repair them ourselves. If it happens to be outside of our skill set, we have a company that we contract to do that. But we make a lot of those repairs ourselves. In addition to that, we're our own janitors. We clean the firehouse, we wash the trucks, we clean the bathrooms. We do some projects around the firehouse that where we're able to save the city money. There's a lot of guys there with just different skill sets that we're able to utilize that talent and just save some money, on some of the labor. So some of the programs that we have, as I talked about before, we do fire inspections, so places of assemblies twice a year. Every other business we try to make sure we go to at least once a year. Foster home inspections, which are required for parents that are desiring foster kids. So we provide that service. Life safety checks. So we pop into restaurants randomly and just check and do a head count. We compare it to the occupancy limit just to make sure that they're not overcrowded. It does not happen very often, but when it does happen, we don't ask people to leave. We just don't let anyone else come in until just through attrition, we get the numbers down in an acceptable range. Our Blazing Vikings program is actually a program that one of our firefighters came up with, and so we've been doing that for a few years. So we go into our 2 elementary schools, and so we ask the teachers to nominate someone in their class. So every month throughout the school year, one kid from each class in each grade gets recognized. So we give them a certificate, a bag with, a ruler, pencils, coloring books, crayons, give them a fire hat, give them a medal. And so we just recognize that group. And it's not academic based. It's just based off of them showing leadership skills and them showing kindness, to their classmates and just being good students, right? So it's not just that academic recognition, but it's more of like a leadership thing. So the kids love it. I mean, some of them are repeat winners, because they do such a good job. So that's a great program. I love going to the schools and doing that. So that's just a picture of us at one of the schools there. A child safety seat program. So we not only install the car seats, but we also train people how to do it properly, because you're eventually going to take it out of your car. So, we just want you to have the knowledge to be able to put it back in and be safe. So long are the days when you can just throw a kid in the trunk of a station wagon and drive down the street, right? So it's actually a 40-hour class to go through and get certified to be able to install those seats and teach people. So there's a lot that goes into it. As a parent myself, I'm really happy that I learned those skills, and we have people that work every day that have that certification that can help you out. So if you need that, just call and then stop by. We do that for our residents and anyone that works in the city. In addition to that, CPR and first aid training, we provide that. Again, for residents or anyone that works in the city, we'd be able to schedule that for you. The only cost associated with that is the cost to get the actual CPR card. There's a fee through American Heart Association that they charge for that, but we don't charge anything to provide that training. Smoke detector program through the Red Cross. We're able to get donated smoke detectors. So if anyone needs a smoke detector, there's a 10-year life on those. So if you need one, All you have to do is contact us. We can schedule something at your convenience, schedule an appointment at your convenience, come out. We can install those for you. We'll put the date in there for you so you know once it hits that 10-year mark to call us back, and we'll do it again for you. So that's a great program. We do not provide carbon monoxide detectors. That's a very common question. We get calls typically in the fall and the winter, more than the spring and summer, but we get calls on that, and we do not provide those, but we can give you some guidance on, what you may need or where you can put it if you have questions on that. Our residential Knox box program, we have some residents that are maybe fall risk, or maybe they have some illnesses that could prohibit them from getting to the door in the event that they had a medical emergency. So we have, it's almost like a lockbox for a realtor, but we have a key that's specific for our fire department that we have in our vehicles. And so through that program, we can put that on your door where it's secure and no one can access that. And then we can put a key in there, your key in there for you. And then we have access to it in the event that you call 911 and can't get to the door. So that'll keep us from having to break your door open or go through a window or something like that. So it prevents damage and speeds up the process of us getting in and being able to get to you. So if you need that, please let us know. Our annual open house. So we love the open house. I've seen many of you at the open house. It's a great time. It's a great time for us to connect with the community. We have stuff there, geared for, our younger population. And it's just a great time to just see the firehouse, talk to the firefighters. I usually just walk around, talk to people, greet them, answer questions, stuff like that. But that usually happens the first Saturday in October. So it's a great time. So if you've never been, please come this fall. I would love to see you there. Our student and civilian ride-along program, that program is really good. So any of you can ride along with us. I mean, all you have to do is schedule it, sign a waiver, and then you'll be able to ride with our captain. So some people do that from time to time, and it just gives them a firsthand account of what a day is like. I mean, you'll go on runs and stuff. We can't let you drive the fire truck. That's a common question, but you definitely can go on runs with our captain. And then we also have students. So we have students that are in programs, that come and they ride along as well. And they are, as long as they're in a program, they are allowed to ride on the ambulance or the fire truck. So, they're able to get some training, in. So I just want to leave you with this. I love being the fire chief here. I love working here. I love serving each and every one of you. And if you ever need anything, please do not hesitate to call me. We'll do whatever we can for you. It's not just fire. It's not just EMS. I talked to a lady that's right there, said a few weeks ago, and I wasn't even aware that we did it. It happened on the weekend. Her drain was clogged outside, and the water was starting to come up. She didn't know who to call. Eventually got a hold of the fire department. We came out and cleared the drain and fixed the problem for her. I mean, it's a huge deal to her. It's just something that we do, right? So whenever you don't know what to do, just call the fire department. If we can't fix it for you, we can usually steer you in the right direction. I'll be here as long as you need afterwards to answer any questions that you guys have. Thank you again for the opportunity to be your fire chief, and thank you for coming out. So next we will have our health commissioner, Matthew Clayton.
Good evening, Springdale. Thank you all so much for being here. Can everyone hear me? This is working great. I'd like to first start by embarrassing a couple of people. I'm going to ask Mr. Garrison, one of our Board of Health members, to please stand up. Mr. Garrison, if you would, please be recognized. And also Mrs. Kraft, who's here, who's a new board member, but thank you so much for being here. Always appreciate your support. Thank you. And one more person I'm going to embarrass, Brandis. I saw you earlier. There she is. Director of Nursing for the City of Springdale Health Department, Brandis Ewing-Jackson. And thank you all for being here. As you may know, if you spent a few minutes around me, I love to talk. And I also love working for Springdale. I've been here almost 10 years, 9 years, 7 months, and a few days, but who's counting? A lot of mornings you'll find me here at the community center working out. So if I'm on the call with you before about 8 a.m. and you hear me and I sound like I'm out of breath, I probably am. I'm probably either working out or walking on the track, but I'm here, and I have to say, work with an amazing group of professionals. These folks at this table, every one of these individuals, it's just a pleasure to work with. Our city administration, our elected officials, there could not be a better place to work. So now on to the presentation. All right, so I'd like to first start by talking about our immunization program. If someone is uninsured, underinsured, or insured through Medicaid, they can come to us and get free vaccines. I don't know of another place in the state that gives vaccines for free. If you're uninsured, underinsured, or you're insured through Medicaid and you want a vaccine, come see us. We're going to give you that vaccine for free. That is a really, really, really popular program. And as such, we think it's very valuable. We want to provide that to as many people as are interested in getting it. So we are working through a process right now. It's called eClinical Works. So I approached our administration and our elected officials and said, we'd like to spend a little bit of our grant money. In the last couple of years, we've gotten in about $1 million in grant money. We'd like to spend a little bit of this money to bring in a very affordable but efficient system to take us from keeping records on paper to a completely electronic system, a system that will communicate with the state systems like the impact system for the vaccine records, and will give us the opportunity to give our residents a chance to make their appointments online and then come in and register, sign in at the health department through a screen. We've seen this system. They came in, they gave us 2 days of training. They stuck around with us through our first clinic. They stayed with us after for some follow-up where we talked about using this system out in the field when our nurses are out providing home visits to residents who are homebound. We've seen that our vaccine clinics, we can now serve more than twice as many people as we could serve. So for a small amount of money, and I'm literally talking less than $10,000 a year, we were able to double our efficiency of a service that is very popular and very valuable, I believe, for our residents. So that is something that I had the support of our administration and our elected officials. And also, as I've recognized, Brandis, our director of nursing, she and her staff have worked very hard to learn the system and to use the system. So thanks to everyone who's making this possible. Looking forward to this making us more valuable for the community. Our nurses as well are here at the community center for blood pressure clinics. Those are on the third Tuesday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And as I mentioned, our nurses are out providing a wellness check for homebound residents. So we have the opportunity to serve our residents through these services, and really appreciate that opportunity to provide services that are needed in the community and really to engage and connect with people in that way. Coming up, we have our Mental Health Resources Fair. That will be here in June. Actually, we'll be in the lobby of the community center. Obviously, a lot of the services we provide here at the community center, and it's a pleasure for us to partner with Charlie and his staff. I see Steve over here. He's the opener here at the community center. If you guys don't know, he's here every morning at 5 a.m.? 5:30. I keep trying to beat him here. I've never made that. But and then we're here for the annual health fair. That'll be in October every year. Be a chance for us to provide, of course, the flu vaccine for anybody who wants it, and then also to bring in a number of our partners in healthcare and public health and across the gamut. Just coming in, setting up tables, and providing information. So I remember last year we were able to get the UC mobile mammography van to come out on the day of the health fair. In addition, the 513 relief bus was here. We had a mobile unit from Veterans Hospital that was providing free medical services for veterans. We had a great event, but I give a lot of that credit to our student interns. So I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but first chance to brag on the interns. And we have the new program, again, chance to brag on Brandis and the nursing crew. Springdale Healthier Moms and Babies. So our nurses and our staff have to put up with me a lot. I'll do things like this. I'll gather a lot of data and start looking at it and trying to figure out what we're doing right and what we can do better. And one of the things that I saw was, hey, let's look at ways that we can promote health for moms and for babies in Springdale. So Brandis and our nurses had to join me on calls, and we talked to people from Hamilton County Health and the crew that was over maternal and child health, and said, this is what we're doing to promote maternal and child health. What could we do better? What are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? And then we got connected with Cradle Cincinnati, and then we talked to people from Hamilton County WIC, and we talked to people from Healthy Moms and Babes, which is a mobile unit that comes around and provides prenatal screening and services, and also some items that are helpful, like prenatal vitamins and diapers. So we were able to then also talk with looking at the data, I found that the majority of Springdale moms give birth at Bethesda North. So we were able to connect with the Bethesda North OBGYN Center. And so through these, the first thing that happened was we were able to convince the Healthier Moms and Babes unit to start coming to Springdale, to the Park at Springdale Apartments. We had to work with them to make sure that they'd have space for the mobile unit. But they're going to be out on a monthly basis and helping us to just promote health. And then we're going to try to help moms get connected with the services at Bethesda North, knowing that's where most of our moms going for giving birth. The other thing that we're doing, we're working with the Heritage Hill Elementary School to set up meetings with the moms in Springdale, moms who are expecting. The real question is, what can we do for you? What do you need? What services are not there that we can help connect, or how can we make health better for moms and for babies in Springdale? So that's something that we're proud of. It's a service that's coming, that we're working through and looking forward to continuing the trajectory of healthy moms and healthy babies in Springdale. Now, we're really doing well. I know the data shows me that we have not had a case of infant mortality in years in Springdale, and that's great. But that is a big part of health. We know that if a person starts healthy, continuing healthy is easier, right? We have our back to school annual drive where we're going to push people in the community to provide donations of book bags and school supplies. Last year we were partnering with La Mega in the parking lot of the Mutiara grocery store and handing out hundreds of book bags and school supplies for kids. As a guy who grew up with low socioeconomics, I know that school is a place where kids get to go and be normal, even if your home life's not normal. So for me, this was always a point of pride to give back, and it's also something that I've been able to witness the generosity of this community and watch that come to fruition in a way that's very beneficial for our youth. So one of the many things that makes Springdale special. We have the Healthy Harvest Mobile Market. That's a service of the Free Store Food Bank. They're partnering with us, and they're going to locations in Springdale, particularly apartment complexes, to provide people with low socioeconomics a chance to have more access to fresh fruits and vegetables. And then mental health improvement. Again, this is an opportunity for us to partner with the police department, with the fire department, with Public Works, with city administration, as we're working through efforts to improve mental health for our community. We have a new plan, and executing that plan really involves a lot of steps and a lot of our staff. So looking forward to that. Of course, our mental health event in June is part of that, providing resources to the community to make sure that people know that we have mental health partners, that there are resources, and hopefully our residents can become more aware and can be a liaison to help people when they're having a mental health crisis get to the services that are needed. So, student internships really started for us during COVID. We had a lot of students who were interested in helping us out at the clinics, and they came out and worked registration desks. And since then, we've had students who were willing to work with us in health promotion, health education, in community health improvement, in environmental health, in the vector control program. Really, the students have been able to do a lot. We've been able to partner with Xavier University and with the University of Cincinnati, Ohio State University, Ohio University, Western Kentucky, Northern Kentucky. Across the years, we've really had a lot of opportunities to partner with these institutions and bring in students. And in a typical time, we'll have about 6 students in as student interns. Earlier, I was talking about the eClinical Works, the launch of eClinical Works. It so happens that we had a brilliant Springdale resident who was finishing up a master's in health informatics, and that young man came in and helped us as part of his capstone practicum get that project going. So That was truly appreciated. And his dad's in the room, so I won't mention his name is Nathan Anderson. The Springdale Health Department, one of our cores is to ask our staff constantly and our interns, how can we improve? What are we doing right? What are we not doing well? Where can we improve? And one of the suggestions from our students a few years ago was we need to create a resource list. We need to create community resource cards. So we partnered with our fire department, our police department, and we created these cards with these QR codes. And those are out in the community quite a bit. The QR code will take you to our full resource list, which is over 90 pages. But we love the opportunity to help connect people to services that are needed and just connect with the community. We send a lot of information out. We send out email blasts, and we put out a lot of social media blasts for the purpose of health education and health promotion. So I'm going to give everybody my email address. It's mclayton@springdaleohio.gov. So if you're interested in getting on our email list, please email me. That's mclayton@springdaleohio.gov. We would love to get you on the list and send you information. I'm going to be around for a bit and looking forward to talking with everybody. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Now, I have the opportunity to introduce our Assistant City Administrator, Stephanie Morgan. She's going to talk about finance in the City of Springdale.
Thank you, Mr. Clayton. Appreciate that. So good evening, everyone. I get the privilege to speak to you a little about the dollars and cents of the city. So the finance department is responsible for all areas of financial administration of the city. This includes our budgeting, our cash management, purchasing, earnings tax, and also the financial reporting. The city's most significant source of revenue to fund operations, you see there in the orange, that is the city's 2% earnings tax. Also included in that chart are the other revenue streams that are represented, including property taxes. We receive lots of grants. Our staff works very hard to secure those grants to be able to provide additional services and projects for the city. We also receive some state sharing revenue, such as local gas tax and local government funds. So although those provide a smaller impact to our revenue budget, they are equally important in helping us to fund those operations. Now, where does the money go? So the city provides a variety of services in exchange for the taxes that residents pay. Revenues received will fund police and fire protection, infrastructure maintenance, quality of life items such as parks and the community center you're sitting in. Also many other services that you've heard our department directors speak about or will hear them speak about this evening. From the annual budget is where we project what those revenues and expenditures are going to be. That is posted out on our city website, so you're able to kind of see the in further detail what the revenues and expenditures are projected at. Additionally, we participate in Ohio Checkbook. So the Ohio Checkbook program allows us to provide some more transparency of what the city's expenditures are on a routine basis. So all of our expenditures are there on the website that's provided by the state. You can get a summary view. You can also drill down and look into more detail on what each of those graphs and charts represent. The website up there, available for all to see. So one of the things that we have learned since that wonderful pandemic that we had a number of years ago, it really impacted the work environment. And so over the last 5 years, a lot of employers have transitioned to a work from home model for their employees. The impact that that has had on the city has been significant as well. As you can see here, the number of refunds that have resulted from those work from home employees have been quite great. The good news is we see those trending downward, and we do monitor these very closely from year to year. And we do feel like we're finally reaching the point where things are starting to level off a little bit. But this year we'll be able to tell more if that's truly the case. Regarding our tax department, a few additional pieces of information that we want to share. Just a reminder that this year's tax filing deadline is April 15th. Our tax department will be offering assistance, as we always do, in assisting residents to help prepare their local tax return. And to do so, we will offer some extended hours the Saturday and Monday prior to tax day. We'll be open regular hours on the 15th. But we have two new features, two new options that we have implemented to assist our taxpayers in meeting their obligations. One of those is a secure email portal, which allows you to upload files and transmit those documents, as well as communicate in a secure manner with our tax department staff. The second is the option to make your tax payments online in a secure manner as well, either with your bank account or via credit card. Both of those options, there are links to those on the tax department page of the city's website, and that's springdaleohio.gov. So now it is my distinct pleasure to move on to a more exciting presentation, and I will call up our Chief of Police, Thomas Butler.
Good evening, everyone. This is Ms. Morgan. Charlie, I hit the wrong button, didn't I? I'll go back a little bit. As Ms. Morgan said, my name is Tom Butler. I have the pleasure and honor of being your police chief. I want to thank Mayor Hawkins, Mr. Ewell, and Ms. Morgan for the opportunity to serve in this capacity for you all. The police department, this is our structure currently as we stand. We saw a need to restructure about 18 months ago. We're split into two sections: our support service, which is our civilian staff, detectives, property room, mayor's court, and our community resource officer, and the patrol side. In the back, I know they don't want to be introduced, but Lieutenant Dale Morris, he oversees the support operations side. Tim Mike Schultz oversees the patrol side. Patrol side is what you see every day out on the street. So also not to forget Sergeant Eric Langevin back there. He's our new administrative sergeant, one of the newer positions we created. As Ms. Morgan said earlier about the pandemic, law enforcement during that time, we saw a decline for various reasons. It's good to see our officers from 2023 to 2024. We had an increase of police activity by 47%, where the officers are back out in the community being proactive and helping reduce crime and keep Springdale a safe community. These are some of our numbers. Our calls for service, as you can see from 2023 on the left, we had a little over 18,000. Last year we had a little over 21,000. So our calls for service have gone up from residents calling in for certain crimes, crashes, things of that nature. Our arrests went up a little bit over just exactly 200. And our offenses went up slightly, around 300 from the year before. So a lot of that is due to the officers being more active and proactive. You're seeing more arrests. We still operate a mayor's court for the convenience of our residents. We handle low-level misdemeanors here, traffic cases, criminal cases, and criminal traffic, just to make it more convenient so we can handle the minor traffic so a resident doesn't have to go downtown for a speeding ticket and be inconvenienced in the county court. Some of our citations on the right, we went from a little over 1,600 to 2,600 citations issued in 2024 to adults. Juveniles were 31. Unfortunately, as the old adage, we now have scientific proof that male drivers are worse, because we issued 1,065 to men and 489 to female drivers. So yes, we are the worst drivers. Thank you, ladies. You can see our breakdown between 2023 and 2024 kind of mirrors our community breakdown. We issued 931 citations to Caucasian drivers, 623 to African American, and 50 citations to Hispanics. And then others is our computer just didn't catch the race of somebody, or they couldn't read the officer's handwriting. We had a little bit over 740 or 730 auto accidents in the city. Fortunately, 708 of those were non-injury. Inconvenient nonetheless, but people weren't hurt. Unfortunately, we did see an increase in our fatal auto accidents. We went from 1 to 4, so we will try to combat that as year goes on in 2025. Our crime statistics are here for viewing. It's a little bit lengthy, but we didn't see any real uptick that's concerning. A lot of its officers are more active. The only thing we really saw was, in every community was hit by it, auto thefts last year. We went from 31 to 41. And hopefully that situation's been resolved. Our detective section, we have 3 investigators and a sergeant assigned to any offense report or crime that's reported. Out of 164 cases they had assigned last year, they closed 61% of them already. 39% are remaining open and are still being investigated. So they have a pretty good closure rate. One of the ones that affected our community for a long time, and a unique way we solved this crime, was our nail bandit up on Crescentville. Sergeant Jeff Hurd came up with an idea and spent many hours putting a fluorescent marking on a box of nails, so we knew where the individual was buying his nails from. The company agreed to sell it back to him and hold it. And when a couple tires, I think a couple our cars and Sharonville cars got hit first, we pulled them out. We matched the fluorescent marking under a black light. So we have some very creative and smart men and women working here, so you should feel very good about that. Some of the best that I've ever worked with. Recently, his case is concluded. The one in Hamilton County, this gentleman was sentenced to 5 years of community control and intensive probation. So hopefully it's resolved that problem for us and we don't see that ever again. This one, we had a homicide at La Quinta Inn earlier this year, or late last year. Working with our detectives and our uniform patrol, we had this suspect in custody in the city of Columbus within 19 hours. They were able to track exactly where he was at. At one point, we called the City of Columbus SWAT team, and they apprehended him in a parking lot exactly where our technology took us. So by their hard work, we get a individual off the street that shot and killed somebody for no reason. So again, we have some very good detectives, uniform officers that protect our community. A lot we see on TV, use of force. Out of our 1,244 arrests that we made last year, we had 9 incidents where we had to use physical force. It's a very low number, not even 1% of our interactions. Out of those 1,244 cases, 14 times we had to display either our taser or our firearms, where we didn't have to use physical force where it resolved the situation. So our officers are very good at de-escalation and handling a situation for us. So it's proof by what they do here every day. Our quality of life patrols, we do a lot of quality of life and directed patrols where we see an uptick in speeding or parking complaints or any number of things, where the officers are given direction by Lieutenant Schultz back there, where they have to spend a specific time in a certain neighborhood or certain business and things like that. So they're assigned every day to check hotels, businesses, and neighborhoods. So you see from 2023 to 2024, quality of life went up slightly, but our directed patrols went up substantially, where they were given a task and they performed a little over almost 1,700 directed patrols last year. Saying something that Springdale is special, I came from the outside. It is a hidden gem. When I got here, we were 8 officers short. I can say right now we are completely staffed. Not a lot of agencies can say that because it's hard in this community or in this field to fill up your ranks. We were able to get a lot of seasoned and experienced officers from other agencies. I think we pulled 4 from the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office, plus an administrative assistant. We had an officer from Montgomery Police Department with 10 years on that came kind of back home. He was here and worked as a loss prevention at the mall at one time. We hired one young man out of the academy who served in the Army for 11 years prior to being a police officer. That speaks to the quality of the officers here in Springdale and the community, that people want to come to work here and leave a place they're comfortable with. As you can see, Jason Davis, he had 22 years with the Sheriff's Office and decided to come here. And he hasn't looked back since he got here. So it goes to the community here that people want to come and work here and be part of this community. We also hired Lisa Selms from the Sheriff's Office. She was as an administrative assistant to the staff and myself. As I alluded to before, Sergeant Langevin, we created a position for administrative sergeant, something to groom and get the next generation of officers ready to take the lieutenant's positions in mine. Sergeant Langevin, one of his many tasks right now is rewriting our policy manual for the department. I don't know if he knew what he was getting into when he volunteered for it, but he will know our policy inside and out. Through some of our movements, Derek Setters was promoted to sergeant, and we were able to move Onam Williams and Barry Norse into our detective units to fill some vacancies. Some of the awards that our officers received last year, Michael DiStefano was involved in an incident where a gentleman was being mauled by 2 large dogs, where he had to unfortunately shoot both dogs and kill them. He was awarded the Hamilton County Officer Bravery Award. Our interdepartmental awards, you can see there, we made a decision as an agency for Officer Grant. We renamed our Employee of the Year award after her, so she'll be remembered forever for her sacrifice. We also were able to, we were awarded our 6th award for accreditation from a national accreditation agency, saying we meet all the standards and best practices for law enforcement. Some of our goals for 2025, we've already started DEA Task Force, Drug Enforcement Administration. We have an officer now assigned to investigate drug complaints and activities, working with the DEA. We started an impact unit where we have 2 officers that work with our detectives and our uniform patrol, but they work in for high crime or quality of life issues. We were fortunate enough, we started a drone unit along with the fire department and other departments that our officers deploy constantly. The other night we had a gentleman broke out some windows of some businesses. He fled into the woods, and our drone operator was able to locate him and lead officers to him so we could take him into custody. Some of the other things we're getting into is technology-wise. Our DataWorks Evolution is a handheld identification system where we can scan an individual's fingerprint in the field, so we don't have to take them to the Justice Center and take an officer off the street. The LiveScan Plus is just a base station where we can do facial recognition, retinal scan, and fingerprinting from the station. And then our command staff, our goal is to make it difficult for Mr. Yule in a couple years to replace myself and the lieutenants. We have 4 or 5 sergeants that are the future. We're going to train them, send them to command schools, and get them the experience that they need to make this a difficult decision when the 3 of us retire one day to take our place. I know I look younger than Chief Stanley, but I've been here a lot longer in this community. So I got about 9 years on him, but he'll catch up soon. So with that, I will turn it over to our building director, Melissa Hayes.
Good evening, everyone. I don't think I'm as talented as the previous staff members on holding the microphone and presenting, so bear with me. My name is Melissa Hayes. I'm the new chief building official. I have been with the city approximately 6 months. However, I do have over 20 years of experience in local government, specifically in city planning. So the building department is comprised of 8 staff members. We have 3 full-time inspectors, 1 full-time administrative assistant, 2 part-time administrative assistants, and 1 part-time building official. So many of you probably already know that the building department does review plans and inspects new construction. However, we also do serve as the staff liaison to Planning Commission, Board of Zoning Appeals, and the Board of Housing, Building, and Fire Appeals. And both the Planning Commission and the Board of Zoning Appeals meets fairly regularly, once a month. In addition, the building department is responsible for overseeing various land use and development regulations, including the City of Springdale zoning code. So some of the items that the building department does review are the stormwater facilities located throughout the City of Springdale. Those are mostly on private developments. So we do inspect brand new facilities as well as existing facilities to make sure they are functioning properly. This past year, we did 34 site inspections of these facilities. And in addition, with regards to property maintenance activity, building and zoning violations, our inspectors' initial contact with residents is typically through a community pride notice. Hopefully you guys haven't not received one of these. The community pride notice serves as a positive way for us to engage with the residents, giving them a chance to address the violation without feeling as though the city's coming down kind of heavy-handed. And should the violation not be rectified, the inspectors will take more official steps, with the final step being a summons to mayor's court. So as you can see, it kind of progresses down. We issued 1,500 community pride notices in 2024, but we only sent 21 cases to mayor's court. So hopefully we can keep that number low. So building department activity in 2024, obviously there's a picture of the new Wawa. I feel like I took that and it already is, I mean, way further along just in the last week or so when I took that picture. So as far as construction activity, we have issued 537 permits in 2024. We had 33 cases go to Planning Commission, which was an uptick. We had 14 in 2023. And for Board of Zoning Appeals, we had 11 cases heard last year. In addition, the building department does review all rental permits. We had 368 properties last year reviewed and inspected. So a popular program that we offer is the Home Improvement Repair Program. This is made available through Community Development Block Grant funding through the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. This program does allow for qualifying residents to receive reimbursements for costs associated with exterior repairs to their own home. Some of the examples of work completed in 2024 were gutter guards, garage door replacements, soffits, anything on the exterior of the house. And we did get word that replacing driveways, if it's part of a larger project, would qualify as an improvement. And we do have approximately $30,000 in funds still available. So if you know of anyone or if yourself would like to apply, please reach out to the building department. We'd be happy to get you set up on that reimbursement program. So these are a few frequently asked questions specifically to receiving a community pride notice. Because again, we do issue a lot of those every year. So you may get one, your neighbor may receive one, and they ask you, what do I do with this now? So on those notices, it will specifically call out the violation. For example, derelict vehicles, improperly parked vehicles, trash, junk, litter, grass. Those are kind of the common violations that we see throughout the community. But on that notice, it will give you a time frame to rectify and bring your property into compliance. But please don't hesitate to reach out to our department if you have specific questions or you need more time, to bring your property into compliance. We're happy to work with you. Again, it's more of a friendly notice to let you know that you're not adhering to our code. And just like the other department directors, I will be available for questions following tonight. And I appreciate your guys' time this evening. And up next is our Economic Development Director, Andy Kukta.
Thank you, everyone. I have a very small department. It's just me, so everything you see that's being done here is being done by me with teamwork from the administration when it's needed. So some of the key areas of focus for my department and for me are obviously Tri-County Mall redevelopment, redevelopment of vacant and obsolete office buildings, of which we have, as of today, still 6 office buildings that are completely empty and 2 more that are more than 75% vacant as well. And using tools that we have available to accomplish those 2 objectives above. So a whole bunch of tax incentive tools. I'm not going to rattle through them because it's just a bunch of word salad, but these are the tools that local communities can use to really make their environment the most attractive for businesses to come and invest in the community. And that has really shown because we've been very aggressive with these tools in the past 5 years. And the way that is borne proof is we've averaged $80 to $90 million of investment every year since 2020. So you think about it, a community of our size, 4.9 square miles, 11,000 people, that's a lot of investment that's been happening consistently year after year. Also represent the administration on updating some foundational city policies, some of which had not been updated for a long time. Comprehensive plan, bike and pedestrian plan, housing demand analysis, and thoroughfare plan that just was adopted very recently. So we're kind of all up to date on our plans that help guide our planning commission and other commissions and our city council on what kind of growth do we want, where do we want it to go, what kind of infrastructure improvements should we be making as growth and redevelopment happens in the community. So like to be data-driven in what I do, and one of the key pieces of data as it impacts a city that gets a lot of its revenue from earnings tax from employees is the people that are actually working here. So we started subscribing back during the pandemic to this service that tracks your cell phone data, so it knows where you live and where you work and where you shop. And so you could see in 2019, pre-pandemic, we were averaging about 5,100 people coming to work somewhere in the city on any given day, and those people had an average household income of $60,000 or higher. So that was kind of our pre-pandemic benchmark of how many people were coming to work in here. And you can see how much it dropped down in the successive years after mostly office buildings had emptied out. And we're bouncing back. So far, the data that we have in 2025 is only through March, so we have a long run to go in March to see how that number comes back up. But it's been coming back up, which is an important thing. I will say that the 1,000 or so people that have not reappeared to come work in the city, I can point to a variety of those office buildings and tell you, yep, it was 600 workers here in this building, it was 150 in that building, 50 in this building, that they all vacated, their businesses vacated, they went to remote or hybrid work situations and or relocated them to some other offices elsewhere or downsized. And those particular employers are not bringing those people back. So the buildings are either going to have to get refilled by new office employees, which based on their age, based on the fact that they've been sitting empty, some of them for 5 years now, the likelihood that it's probably not going to happen. So we have to continue to be creative and working with the property owners and developers who come to us with redevelopment ideas for those buildings. So our strategy, based on that scenario and that data that we were tracking for the past 5 years, is really focusing on trying to get more people here. Because the people that were here working in offices also went to our restaurants and maybe made a stop at Lowe's or Target before they went home for the day, got their dry cleaning done here, ate at restaurants, used other services, dentist, eye doctor in the city. And when you lose 1,000 plus people a day that are not going to those services anymore, that hurts the rest of our retailers and service providers in the city. So one of the ways that we could try to make up for that is to attract dense multifamily mixed-use projects, and that's going to involve some work from home folks that will hopefully be direct earnings tax collection to the city from that standpoint. But they're also going to be living here. So they're going to be eating at our restaurants, they're going to be shopping at our stores and using our services. So that's really the simple strategy that's been driving a lot of what we've been doing, and let's take a look at some of the results. The first one is called the Row on Merchant, and that's the first of 2 apartment projects that got started way back in 2020. We actually started having discussions with a couple developers. You could see outlined in yellow the location. These are 2 vacant office buildings at 134 and 144 Merchant Street. They'd been vacant for a number of years. Developer came in and said in mid-2020, I'd like to convert these into apartments. What do you think, city? And we had never dealt with anything like that before, so we spent a lot of time working with them, working through the design, and he had a nice little add-on that he wanted to do, which was also build townhomes in the big sea of parking that was not going to be needed around those office buildings anymore. So if you look at this picture, those 2 large buildings, I hope I pressed the right button, yep, so the 2 large boxes, that's one of the office buildings and that's the other office building. They have about 60-some apartments in each of those office buildings. The one on the left has a rooftop amenity area, some grills, some seating, hangout space for the residents, and then so 60-some in each of those buildings, and then you have 97 townhomes that were built in the parking lot around those office buildings. They've stayed consistently over 90% occupied. There's actually more green space on that site than there was when they were office buildings. I think it's 140 new trees that got planted that above and beyond what was there before. So pretty cool use, we think. We worked with the developer to come up with the townhomes to be designed so that they look like little office buildings, so they blended in better with the surrounding offices that were still there. We're pretty happy with how it turned out, and we'll show you some statistics in a little bit. The other project that got started about the same time was the former Sheraton Hotel site across from the Showcase Cinema. So there's the movie theater, here's Route 4, here's the Sheraton Hotel site. That's a 8-point-something acre site. The city purchased it back in 2016, demolished the 10-story hotel that had been vacant for some time and put it up for sale. We sold the property back in 2021 to an Indianapolis-based developer called Millhouse, and they spent another $40 million to construct a 216-unit apartment project. This is a more traditional kind of an apartment project where you have 3-story walk-up buildings. I will say, having gone through both these projects, Millhouse does a wonderful job with the amenities. They just have a really, really, really nice clubhouse. They even have art in their mail pickup room. They've got dog washing stations. They got a little dog park, yoga studio, coffee bar. They do a really nice job with their development. And they were so happy with how this turned out that they are going to be doing the next one that I'm going to show you. First, though, let's talk a little bit about results. So what results have we seen with these 2 projects? They're both consistently over 90% occupied, and they both asked us to try to kind of hide their data, their demographic data that they shared with us a little bit. So I took the names off, and apartment number 1 and apartment number 2. But this is those 2 projects, the Array and the Row. And as of a few months ago, this was the average household income for both of those. So $108,000 for apartment number 1 was the average household income. So could have more than 1 person living in a unit or 1 person living in a unit. And then for apartment number 2 is $110,000. That compares to Springdale as a whole, $88,000 average household income. When you look at it on a per person or per capita basis, the spread's even a little bit higher. You go from $54,000 to $77,000 between those 2 apartments as far as the per person average income, compared to Springdale's on average community-wide as a whole, the latest data, $36,000. The other interesting aspect is they're younger too. They're about 10 years younger on average than the average Springdale resident. So, and you can also see some of the top employers of where these residents are working at. Have a lot of nurses, a lot of traveling nurses, but there's also a fair amount of people that are in management occupations. So they have above average disposable income, and we are hoping that they're spending it now, and they're going to continue to spend it as we attract more restaurants and retailers and services to the city. But so far, this seems to be accomplishing what we set out to do, and we're very happy with these results. And the next project on queue is, again, this is the Array Apartments. That's what Millhouse did on the former Sheraton Hotel site. This is, I'm going to pull this off here. This is, this yellow dashed line is 17 acres of excess parking that is not needed and hasn't been used for a long time that belongs to Showcase Cinema. So Millhouse, the same company that did their array, is purchasing that 17 acres, and they're going to do their next community there. It's going to be a 305 unit community, $52 million in spend, and they have not named it yet. So for now, they're calling it the Cinema Apartments. They will come up with a better name, but they kind of spring that on us late in the game. But you could see it's a mix of 216 walk-up 3-story apartment units. They're going to have a pool and a clubhouse. These are the larger buildings. And then 2-story townhomes down here. There's a bunch of green space. They're adding a whole bunch of green space to this. There's going to be 1 or possibly 2 dog parks on the site, walking path and clubhouse pool, the same kind of amenities that they had over there. Here's some images that we'll just show real quick of what the design is going to look like. So those are the 3-story buildings. They are telling us they're going to have a pickleball court for their residents, so that'll be a nice addition as well if that makes it in there. And you can see the 2-story structures across the way. They were designed to blend in same materials and colors with the 3-story structures. Little pocket parks, little green spaces throughout the site. And there is the clubhouse and the pool. So we're very excited for that to get started. They literally closed on some financing today. They will be closing on the site acquisition next week. And I expect within weeks of that happening, you're going to start seeing some earthwork being done, tearing up the existing parking lot, and starting to work on utilities. It will include a walking path around the whole site, so that's going to be part of the connectivity that we're going to eventually start being able to put in shared use paths all along the south side of Crescentville Road. So we're chunking these in as projects are happening bit by bit throughout the city, and they're all eventually going to connect. Some new and expanding businesses over the past few years. We have a variety, everything from retail, Best Buy outlet to Vance Outdoors. Deech, we've already touched on. Wawa, Enable Injection, Slick City. I'm going to touch on a few of these a little bit more. So there's what the building is supposed to look like when it's done. As anybody has seen and as Melissa talked about, it's well under construction and there's a lot more happening every day. And I know Ms. McNear is going to be first in line for the tasty cakes. I hope you'll bring me an extra one since I've never had one before. Enable Injections is a really neat company. It's a medical device manufacturer. They make these devices that you can basically stick on your abdomen, and it injects medicine over a period of time that you would normally have to go and get an IV at a doctor's office for a long period of time, for up to an hour plus. They are leasing half of the newest building at the corner of Crescentville Road and State Route 747, so that's the Springdale Commerce Park. They're only going to be in half of that, but they're going to cram in 254 employees in there and have a $19 million payroll. So we're very excited about that. The owner of that industrial park is still working on leasing the other half. And then the new building that you can't see that is south of Sleep Number, that's the newest building that just got finished last year. It's about the same size as the Sleep Number Sugar Right building. They're working with a tenant to lease half of that right now. So don't have any information, but you never know what you're going to get. You know, Sleep Number does not have a whole lot of jobs. I've heard it's maybe only 30 to 50 people inside a huge, huge space, 300,000 square feet. And then you could have 250 people crammed into 90,000 square feet. So you don't know what you're going to get with these kind of speculative industrial buildings, but it's a great mix. We're going to be getting some great earnings taxes and some great people that are going to be part of the community here. So there is the rendering of the Deech conversion of the Costco building. It's already been discussed, but they did add 50,000 square foot expansion onto it, which includes that very tall freezer space, that tall addition that's on the side closer to Target, that gray area, that gray tall building. That's freezer space. That is a crazy tall 10 below freezer space. As soon as the pretzels come out of the oven, they go into that freezer space and they get flash frozen, and that's where they stay until they get loaded onto trucks. If you want to try any of their pretzels that are made right here in Springdale, you can go to any Kroger and go to the bakery section, and it's Pretzel Baron brand pretzels. So they sell them in pretzel bites and big Bavarian pretzels, or you can wait to Pretzel Fest and you'll be able to try all kinds of options for it. They already have one line up and running. They're going to install up to 7 lines over the next few years and eventually get up to 300 plus people at this facility. And they're going to maintain their facility that's over on Northland Boulevard. Fun project that the City Council just approved an incentive on a little while ago. Slick City Action Parks. So it's a new growing chain of family entertainment venues that it's all about slides. There's patented slides and there's some bouncy areas inside. You can rent it by the hour. You can have birthday parties. They apparently have adult-only nights. You can have corporate team building. They're going to be going into the former Sam Ash location next to Dave & Buster's. And I can't really publicly talk about the specific use now, but we are, the property owner of that strip is working on getting another type of adult family entertainment use that would complement everything that's going in now. So you have Dave & Buster's, you're going to have Slick City, you have Full Throttle, you have Sky Zone. So it's turning into, you know, a place where you could take your family and kids of all ages and hang out for quite a while and have some fun. And Tri-County Mall redevelopment. So I know that they're probably, you know, you drive by and you don't see a lot of evidence of a lot of stuff happening. The most recent thing that happened was the former Macy's tire store was demoed in May, or December, I'm sorry, in December. I'll talk a little bit about what's going on behind the scenes. Can say that the vision is still absolutely the same from the new owners of the property that bought it last May. It's still intended to be live, work, and play in one place. It's still intended to have new restaurants and entertainment that we don't have in Springdale, and hopefully some new ones to the region as well. And it's supposed to turn into a city within a city. So if you want to think about the closest examples of what we envision this, the city leadership envisions this to be, and the developer envisions this to be, think about Factory 52 down in Norwood, Montgomery Quarter in the city of Montgomery, even really Liberty Center now, because they've added so much more residential that's kind of turning into more of a 24/7 kind of development. That's the kind of mix that we want to see happen here. We do believe that there will be some office use, some medical office use. This is a very messy but colorful slide, and it's basically the current plan from the developers on what kind of uses that they want to have all over the site. So I'm not going to try to point out everything in there, but there's a couple hotels, there's a couple medical office, there's one medical office building, there's about 1,300 apartments envisioned in this format, and restaurants, entertainment, microbrewery or two, pickleball location as well. One thing that, so a couple updates that have happened recently is they've applied for a over $2 million brownfield demolition grant to help really cover a decent chunk of the cost of demolishing the mall structure, because that really has to happen for a lot of other important things that need to happen first, kind of on the interior of the site. So they've applied for that. We hope to hear back in the next 60 days from the state if they were awarded those funds. And that'll really help kickstart demolition of the site. And that alone is going to attract developers, because it's going to remove the uncertainty of, well, if I build my retail strip center right along Kemper Road, for example, where there's maybe some open parking lot, there's this big dead mall behind me. What are my assurances it's going to go away? So that's really one of the things that has to happen first, is the mall has to get demolished. And we're very hopeful that that's going to be happening this year. And the other thing that we have been told we're allowed to mention is that they are, the ownership group is in discussion with a master developer who has experience doing these large-scale mixed-use developments. They've been talking to him for a couple months now. The city has been very much encouraging the ownership group to get into some kind of joint venture, some kind of agreement with a master developer, because these are very complicated projects, and they have to be phased in certain ways, and there are certain pieces that you need to start building first. Master developer that has done this kind of thing, they've learned the hard way what to do and what not to do. So we're very hopeful that there's going to be an announcement in the near future of a master developer partner coming in, and between that and the brownfield grant hopefully kicking off the demolition of the site, it's really going to get rolling. And once it starts, you're going to see activity really take off for that project, and it's going to spread throughout the city. So we're very excited about this. We know we're the most frustrated. I am personally, because I deal with this every day, day in and day out. But there is progress happening. It's just behind the scenes, and it's not standing still. So, and with that, I am honored to turn it over to Brian Ewell, our city administrator, to take us home.
Thank you, Andy. I really appreciate it. And normally they save the best for last. I don't agree with that statement. I honestly think that all of our department heads that presented tonight truly resemble the culture and what it is we're trying to promote here in the city. And thank you to all of you, because it really starts with you. And what Springdale has is truly special. And as you heard from a lot of our department heads, you know, they enjoy coming to work. They enjoy the activities that they're involved in. We're grabbing people from other jurisdictions who may not otherwise leave, because they know what we have here and what's being created here is something different and unique, not what they have at their current employer. So it is a breath of fresh air. It is nice to come here. And again, when I have conversations with other city managers in the region, and they ask, what's going on in Springdale? And I say, hey, you know, we're looking at this, we're looking at that, and this new development is coming in, and Wawa's here, and Deach is expanding, and we have this growth. And when I tell them that every year since 2020, we're experiencing between 80 and 90 million dollars of development or redevelopment each year, not just a total of those couple years, like each and every year between 80 and 90 million dollars of development or redevelopment occurring in the city. And what does that tell us? There's something special here, right? Our location is key. Our residents are key. Our services, our employees, our volunteers, those who sit on our commissions and boards are fantastic. And this whole conglomerate comes together to really make Springdale unique. So I really appreciate you sticking with us. I have about 78 slides we'll go through pretty quickly. I promise I have 5 more after this. I just want to hit on a couple highlights. We did go to a new domain for the city. So we are now springdaleohio.gov. There was a big push last year to migrate municipalities to a .gov domain so that people would realize that they're actually on a true government site and one that couldn't be easily spoofed. So there's a lengthy process that takes place to get the .gov domain. So we went through that, so we're transitioning. We transitioned our website, gave it a refresh, so we're under springdaleohio.gov now, and we're in the process now of transitioning emails and whatnot over the next couple weeks. So with our refresh on our website, we still have the ability to stay connected with us and be alerted to different events and activities and packets that may be out there. So at the top of the website, you'll see there is there's a upper right-hand corner. It says "Stay Connected." If you click on that, it'll take you to this page here. Put your email in. Those of you who have already registered under the old email or under our old website should have received an email just to confirm that you want to continue to receive some of those alerts and notifications. But for those of you who are interested in subscribing to various alerts and notifications, please do so there. One of the things I want to highlight is we're constantly seeking out opportunities to make this community better. And one of those is through the amount of grant dollars that we have attracted for various projects. As Mr. Miller indicated earlier, roadway projects are expensive. They're millions of dollars. And we're very fortunate in Northland Boulevard is a prime example where the vast majority of Northland Boulevard is being paid for by grant dollars and not from general fund monies. So that's a huge accolade to our staff who are continuing to seek out these grant funds to make these projects move forward. One of the ones I want to highlight that we'll start to see some improvements on for 2025 is an energy efficiency grant. We received over $1.3 million in energy efficiency upgrades for the community center, our sports courts, our ball fields, our parking lots for here and the municipal building. So there was only 2 buildings that qualified under the city's realm here, and those were 2. And one of the grants, there was a combination, that $1.3 million is a combination of 4 different grants that all fed into this. One of the grants, they allotted $1 million per county. So a statewide grant, $1 million per county. Springdale received $500,000 of that $1 million allotted to Hamilton County. So we were very fortunate to chase that down and enhance what we can do for the community by way of the community center, which is our most popular visited area, and our sports fields and courts outside. The next is a partnership with OKI, and we were awarded a EV charging station grant. So again, to enhance services in the community and what we can provide to folks. We're going to be looking at between 6 and 9 different EV charging stations on different municipal campuses. They'll be available for public use. You don't necessarily have to be a resident to use them. They work like all the other ones do. You swipe a credit card, just like filling up with gas. So we're excited about that opportunity to, again, just provide another enhanced service for the community. One of the things that we worked on for about a year and a half is creating this new brand. Now, you've probably seen some new logos on some of our trucks, our equipment, some of our letterhead, some of our business cards, different things that have gone out, staff shirts. We partnered with the University of Cincinnati, and there was a branding and marketing class that I knew the professor, and I was asking her about branding and marketing and how we could do something for the city. And she was excited that her class could be involved in a project that had a real-life connection. So over the course of an entire college school year, so the fall semester and then the spring semester, the students worked on identity and what the community was, the history behind it. I gave them a history book that they poured through. They called, they had questions, there was a lot of interaction. I went down and spoke to the class, talked to them about kind of what our vision is and where we're headed as a community. And then they came up with a bunch of different graphics and color schemes and put together a 90-some page branding package for us that has cost other communities upwards of $80,000, $90,000 for this whole branding campaign. This was a partnership that cost the city nothing, and it was a real-life learning experience for the kids. I say kids, college students. But what I'm excited about is not only do we have this new brand identity, but those students who are involved in this class for years to come can drive by or through Springdale and see some of these on our vehicles or other signage and say, I was a part of that. I got to be a part of that when I was in college and in that class. So that's how we came up to this new logo. And the momentum is forward, kind of a forward progress, forward momentum, kind of that's why the little tail on the R, you see the tail behind kind of moving forward, the R swings through, same thing with the A, and then the kind of the swoosh up top. So regionally, there's kind of a regional color scheme that most communities are trying to stay within, like the blues and the greens, the reds, the oranges, the yellows, and some kind of combination thereof. So really excited about this. Again, not just because it's a different type of logo, but that opportunity that we were able to create, that connection we were able to form with the University of Cincinnati, kind of give those kids a a real life learning experience was truly beneficial and impactful. So with that, I thank you for your attention, and I'm going to turn things back over to Mayor Hawkins.
So in closing, connection is important. And we connect with you a number of different ways. There's a lot of ways we give you information to consume, whether it's city council meetings, first and third Wednesdays of the month. Sometimes that changes in the summertime. You're welcome to come out in person. You can watch them online or watch them on your TV. We give you information and connect with you by way of our city website, our city Facebook page, flyers, our newsletter. Connection and communication are key. And so we make ourselves available. Staff, administration makes themselves available. Your city council, elected officials make themselves available. I'm available. If you have questions, please reach out. Ask the people that have the answers, and we're going to take care of you. With that, we're going to wrap the evening up. I'm going to open it up to these guys. I told you the staff is amazing. I told you they're amazing. Another round for them. Feel free to get up and ask questions, and thank you for coming out tonight. Mayor Hawkins out.